Hey, everybody, I wanted to throw out a quick message here. It is Tuesday night. We are about to see the vice president do her remarks on the ellipse in a little bit. And I want to say this, it's important to understand the historical context of what we're seeing right now in this campaign. There's something called a preference cascade occurring right now. Donald Trump instigated it. I think it was catalyzed at the moment of the debate where Harris beat him so badly several months ago now, it feels like. Um, but I think what happened with Madison Square Garden really did break something in the minds of a lot of Americans. They finally got to see it in a way they couldn't ignore it. Putting on this 7-hour Hater-Palooza was in their minds this great idea. It was going to be amazing. Oh, they were going to have so many, people were going to pick up the great vision of Trump and Trumpism. But it turned out to be like it always is: racist, dark, pessimistic, downbeat. This is not a guy who has an upbeat message. This is the guy who calls America a garbage can, right? Now, look, insulting Puerto Rican and Latino voters in the last week of a campaign, I somehow in 40 years have missed that from the great playbook in American politics, but it is having a very, very, very ugly impact. It is having an impact in Pennsylvania. It is having an impact in Florida. It is having an impact in North Carolina. We are hearing a lot about this around the country. We put out an ad today for Puerto Rican voters in Pennsylvania. We're hitting them digitally right now. We had to go digital because we had to go fast. And the feedback we're getting is tremendous. You have a lot of people who weren't paying attention. Trump is so baked in the cake. He's such a known quantity, such a thing that's always been there all the time. And people felt like, oh, I can click off until the last minute. Well, the last minute when they started paying attention turns out to have been the Madison Square Garden rally. And it is an ugly, ugly moment for Trump and his campaign. I've heard from folks inside the campaign, the phrase "dick in the dirt" was used. These people are not happy. They know how bad it went. They know just how badly it went. There's now suddenly a lot of burbling inside the campaign. Trump's angry about people spending money. He's angry about how much Chris LaCivita made, $22 million. It's a good work if you can get it. I would have wrecked Trump's campaign for much less. Take a zero off of the hell. But long story short, Trump is having a very bad time right now. He is trying to spin up all these predicates for the fake election and for a challenge to the election. But I think it's slipping away from him. I really do. I'm not foolishly optimistic ever, never have been in my life, but I have a sense now that he has lost the terrain he needed to be on. In Pennsylvania in particular, the early voting stuff has not broken differently. It has not changed. Who would you rather be? Whose voters would you rather have right now? Donald Trump's voters who've watched chaos, confusion. They watched today's unbelievably low energy, low T presser at Mar-a-Lago. It was sad. It was like elder abuse. This guy was not good. He's not healthy. He's not in good shape. He knows he's losing. But the voter enthusiasm on the Harris side of the equation is through the roof. And a lot of people on the Harris side of the equation, we've been looking at Lincoln, we look at three groups. We call it the Banon Line. Dobbs dads, Dobbs families, Republicans who are really angry about the Dobbs ruling and how much danger it puts their daughters, their wives, their sisters, their mothers, their friends in. They're angry about it. Those folks, they're rock solid. What we call the Red Dawn conservatives, those folks who believe in things like national security and America's role in the world. They're not this weird isolationist, pro-Putin party. Those folks doing great. Trump has really hurt himself with those folks. And finally, that whole broad line of establishment Republicans who never liked Trump, the Nikki Haley voters, the Mitt Romney voters, the Liz Cheney voters. Those people did not get anything out of Madison Square Garden or the last few days that was in any way helpful. None of it helped Trump move the ball. He's not getting new customers. Again, the early voting numbers are telling us an empirical story, not a polling story. They're telling us an empirical story. And we are seeing early voting numbers that are blowing the doors off with women, blowing the doors off with Democrats, blowing the doors off with independents who are modeled and profiled as Democratic voters this year. And that preference cascade I mentioned a moment ago is occurring. It's now getting easier to say, nah, I'm not going to vote for Trump again. I just can't do it. It's now getting easier to say, he's too crazy. It's now getting easier to say, yeah, well, I am a Republican, but this time. That preference cascade is breaking fast. This is going to really decide Republican turnout on election day. But right now, with the early voter turnout in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan that we're looking at, even in Florida, it's pretty tight. Um, that early voter turnout is so stellar in Pennsylvania right now. Donald Trump has to come in with like +8, +9 on election day. That's not going to happen, folks. And he has to go in to a lot of other states. If we win Pennsylvania on election night, which God knows we've spent a ton of time and money in Pennsylvania this year, if we win Pennsylvania on election night, he has to run the board essentially. It's not going to be pretty. Folks, get out and vote. You still have time if you're in an early voting state. Early voting, some states lasts until Thursday. If not, I need you to start making your voting plan for next Tuesday. We have a week to go. Right about now, in a week, you're going to be standing in that line going, God damn, I wish I'd voted early. But look, we are winning. We are going to destroy them. It is time to get up every day for the rest of this campaign. Still, please make your calls, do your door knocking, do your text banking, whatever you're doing to reach voters. I need you to keep doing it. We're going to win. We're getting there. It's going to be big, and you're going to be so proud of what we accomplish as Americans together. See you next time.